The control room. The main gates had to be controlled from here, but this emergency escape only opened from the other side. Then I saw Alonso. He had a gun, and he was pointing it at Songbird. I had to find a way to help her. Alonso hadn't seen me yet, which was probably a good thing.
There are two different cutscenes for when Foster enters the land train control room. In the version where Songbird is on Foster's side, we use an interesting setup to allow our cinematics lead, Matteo, to direct the mocap performance. Matteo was able to see my motion updated in real time on a 3D mannequin on my screen shared with him, and simultaneously hear and speak to me via a Bluetooth headset I was wearing. In this way, we were able to ensure the performance fitted what Matteo required, paying attention to the hurry in which Songbird runs out of the control room, delivering her lines with a sense of urgency and regret, and then making her escape. It felt pretty exciting being able to respond to Matteo's feedback, even at other ends of the country. In the other version, where Songbird betrays Foster, the facial animation challenge became a lot more interesting for him. Foster doesn't realise at first that he's been betrayed, so when he speaks to Songbird, he's urgent and also confused by Songbird seeming calm. Then, as he realises, he turns from Songbird to focus on the more serious threat of Alonso, and his face hardens, but not before he's cast a split-second look at Songbird with sadness and disappointment in his face. I pay attention in facial animations to these moments called micro-expressions. They're there and then they're gone super quick, but they often show a character's true feelings, sometimes feelings they're trying to suppress. I often look for micro-expressions when I'm watching a film.
I and the team were very keen to give the player agency, and for most developers that means multiple endings. I think that's slightly ludicrous because there is only ever going to be one ending that is canon, that pulls together all of the subplots, that answers the question that's raised during the inciting incident. And to try and create multiple endings means that either at least some of them, if not all of them, are going to be weaker than the one that you would have if there was just one singular ending. So we explored ways to give agency without profoundly changing the ending and the player and Foster's journey. And the way we decided to do that was to actually affect the characters around, the key characters around Foster. And one of the really interesting characters is Songbird. And Songbird, of course, is the wife of Graham. And Foster takes on Graham's identity very early in the game. And of course, when Foster arrives in the apartment, Songbird knows that he's not her husband, but she plays along. And that creates an interesting relationship from the start. And Songbird is under the impression that Graham, because his life was so secret, is a bit of a dork. But as we play the game, we come to realize, and Foster comes to realize, that actually Graham was a bit of a star. And the player can choose whether or not to tell Songbird about actually how wonderful Graham was and how important his fight was against the system. And if the player chooses to tell Songbird, then her attitude towards Graham and therefore Foster changes. Or if the player chooses not to, then it doesn't change. And this profoundly affects how Songbird will come into the end scene in the confrontation between Alonzo and Foster. And in this way, we hope that the player will get the sense that there is profound agency in the game, which is affected by the choices that they make, but it doesn't apply to the end scene, which is fixed and is canon based on the story up until that point.
Couldn't just burst through the doors. Not while I still had the upper hand. It wasn't the time to go back down there. Songbird!
I'm sorry. Alonso worked out what you were up to. There was nothing I could do!
When something in the city goes wrong, who do I always find just around the corner? You, whoever you are. Allow me to ask you a question. What do you see when you look at Union City?
On one hand, I see a utopia. There's plenty to eat, plenty to do. And the people are smiling.
Well, I'm glad you see it that way.
Yeah. But on the other, a city that steals children from their villages to experiment on them. The absolute control of every aspect of people's thoughts. In pursuit of a happiness defined by the Council.
Let me tell you what I see. I see perfection.
Perfection? Come on.
This city works. This city provides. Everyone is fed, everyone is busy, everyone is entertained. And everyone has a reason to be happy.
But at what cost?
All the city asks in return is that we follow a few simple rules. Follow the rules, and you are rewarded. break the rules, and you are corrected. You, sir, are a rule breaker.
But children have been stolen from the Gap. And I'm going to open the city gates and get them out. Get them home.
That would defy the rules. And that is why, on behalf of this city, for which I care deeply, I intend to make a rather dramatic correction. Goodbye, Graham Grundy.
That's not Graham Grundy! Oh my goodness!
Songbird, are you okay?
I'm better than okay. That felt good. Foster, something I need to tell you.
Go ahead.
I think I've made a dreadful mistake about Graham. I thought he was a loser, a fool. But he was one of the good guys, wasn't he?
He was. A brave man. But listen, Songbird, right now, I really need to get those gates open.
Thank you. This city needs more people like you. And Graham. Goodbye.
There was clearly some sort of pressure pad or proximity sensor to detect the land trains. The land trains were recalled by satellite. There had to be a dish somewhere nearby. The doors for the land trains were receiving orders just fine. The screen showed that the main gates were in lockdown.
The extensive scene where the children leave Union City requires a lot of mocap, which I captured during work from home due to COVID-19. Because of the length of this cutscene, I prepared by separating out each character's arc and what they do in each shot, so I could do all of Foster's mocap, then all of Danielle's, and then all of Arana's. This way I could stay in character for each in turn, following their emotional journey, rather than chopping and changing between people. I've mentioned a number of points in earlier animation commentaries that all play a role here. The different postures for Arana and Danielle show their different personalities and physical characteristics. While Arana is earnest and urgent, Danielle's run is with smaller steps which seem to fit her upper-class lady archetype. I also labour her breathing due to the exertion. There are stark emotional changes, especially at the instant each character realises Joey means to put himself in the line of fire. These emotions are conveyed in both the body animation and the face, working together. Arana has a lovely moment of transition between emotions as her worry turns to relief when she sees Wendell's truck pull away.
I'd used one of these things to build Joey's first shell.
Manual recall successful.
The screen showed that the main gates were in lockdown. Another land train safely returned. But that wasn't going to help me open the main gates.
Hold on to your hats, kids. This might get bumpy.
Yes! Go, Wendell, go! No! Wendell, stop!
Joey, the guns!
Ah, hell. Look after Foster for me, will you?
Joey, what are you doing?
Joey, no!
Go, Wendell, go! They made it. Thanks to Joey. They got away.
So you didn't take a ride with Wendell?
This is my city. I wasn't going to abandon it.
I'm glad you stayed.
I am so sorry, Robert. I know how much Joey meant to you.
Joey was my best friend.
But now, he's gone.
He did his bit, Foster. Now we need to do ours.
What will you do?
If we don't bring down the Council, this won't stop. We need to confront them head on.
That infinite kudos that you hacked should take us straight to the Citadel.
Good luck, my darlings. I know that you can do it. You must.
Thanks, Danielle.
Let's go.
Have you ever been up here before?
The Citadel's off limits, unless you're Council.
A lot of unhappy people down there. How do you think the Council will deal with them?
I think they'll come down hard.
I agree. Which is why we have to do this, and fast.
You got a plan?
Nope. You?
Nope. Place will be crawling with security.
Look! That's the sea.
I've never seen it before. Okay, then... Well, in the absence of any other plan, I'll go left, you go right.
Sounds good. Ready?
Ready.
There's no one here.